I am 200 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle on an 11-day solo expedition. I'm here to traverse, chart, and paddle the Arctic canyons of Tuktut Nogait.
The description that we have for today's weather is gloomy and cold. Gloomy and cold. Everything is still wet from yesterday, which is fine. We are strong. We can survive. But you know, woohoo! It was just such a late night and there's sand everywhere. I wanted to let you know I added my own latex socks to my dry suit before this trip. Oh. Also let you know that I wear my trail runners without my insoles with my wetsuit, so I don't have to bring a separate pair of shoes. Nice dry them out at night, or I just wear them wet. Whatever works, man. I just get her done. This rock I'm sitting on is super tippy. Don't tie your shoes up too tight because you want circulation going through there. Keep your little feet warm and toasty. So we're ready to go, and we have a class 2 rapid right away. It's a major, but still something. Ditched out a little bit there. You see me holding my paddle? I didn't know what to do. That's a solid class 3 at the end. Probably should have started. It's amazing how fast you warm up when you're dressed properly. So we've got a little class 2 going around this bend. It's actually got a good drop at the end, so I'm going to just boat scout on the left here. It's actually right now more of a class 1 Swift than anything. We have to look at this one. Might not be anything, but it's got a decent drop. Might even be able to just boat scout it. No, I better look. Alright, well both sides are pretty straightforward. Might just take this one. Stay away from that. Should be a good little wave train run right here. Woo! Woo! Can you guys see that? I think this is the water gauge. It's like a solar powered machine of some kind with a bunch of wires coming down, and then they run under there. So maybe it measures like head pressure of the water, like what that would make sense if that's what it did. But very cool, because I don't know if you guys know, in order to pick the time to visit this park, specifically when water levels were ideal to paddle it, I took the last 20 years of it and I built a spreadsheet. And in the spreadsheet, I identified what day and what water level was ideal. And then I programmed it to be color coded so that it showed me windows. And basically over the last 20 years, the average window where flows or levels are around between 2.5 and 3, which is what you want to run this river, was like second, third week of July to first week of August. And that's why the only time you can actually paddle this canyon is basically in those times. Any earlier, if you come beginning of July, the rivers are low, but the canyon's still a little bit in melt. And you have very high flow. So you can imagine right now, I don't know what it is. I'll have to look it up when I get home, but it's probably around 2.5 to 3, which is why everything is manageable. Imagine if it was 5 or 7, like it would be an actual gauntlet of insanity. Anyway, that's the water level gauge, I think, and I check it all the time. This one also has some drop to it. Like, look at the level difference between that and that. You better take a look at it. Actually, it's so shallow here that I'm just gonna get as far over into the deeper bits. It doesn't look like much. Just imagine all the like life that's in that wall on a microscopic level. You know, there's the birds and all that stuff that you see, but just like in every single nook and cranny, there's like another earth in there. Spideys and ants and flies and I don't know, lizards and whatever else lives here. Like, look in there. You could live in there. It looks like a tomb. Looks like there's a little bit of fun over here. Not a ton, but oh yeah. Good campsite right there. I like when the river current is like this. You just go. Structure over there looks completely derelict, but I might go check it out. I might see what's going on up there. Oh, well, that I believe is for ice fishing, and Yeah, this thing's seen better days, that's for sure. But I guess it was some kind of old ice fishing hunt camp kind of thing they built out here. The canyon's just ending right here, you can see. There's still some big rolling hills, but the official ending of the canyon has occurred. Okay, well, we'll leave it as we found it. Maybe one day someone will put some work into it and rebuild it. Who knows? We checked out the cabin. I had to put an extra layer on, guys. It's the wind is robbing me of my heat. You know what it is? We're not doing any big rapids, and we're not portaging lots. We're not working, and it's also colder and completely overcast, so that's a problem. We have just completed a section of the map, which means we have 2 topographical maps to go. Yeah, right here. So we're going to take this river all the way up. I said it before, I think it's about 45-ish kilometers to the Arctic Ocean. I don't know if I'm going to paddle or walk. We're going to see how this goes, and yeah, really just see how it goes. If the river's fun, we'll stay on the river. If not, we will walk the Arctic tundra. And when we're on the Arctic tundra, we have, as you know, more of a chance to see the wildlife, which I wouldn't mind seeing at a distance. Someone's boat right there. Huh. So we're now really out of the canyons, and we're just coming around to the George Creek confluence, the Hornaday River. This is the area that when I went to go plan my backpacking section through this, I was warned that the next few kilometers have a very high grizzly bear. So we're just going to float it. I got the bear spray handy right here. I'm not saying like when we go there there's going to be 100 grizzly bears. I'm just saying there might be an opportunity to see one. Now we have to see if we can knock off any more animals from the list. Uh-oh. It's very shallow. This is a really shallow rapid, but I'm telling you, it's gonna be a problem. It's a pretty big drop, super shallow, and there's just rocks everywhere. So I have to pick my line. Oh, there is no line. We're basically I can't believe we didn't flip. We're just going backwards. I cannot believe we didn't flip that thing. I knew it. When I saw the drop, I'm like, this is gonna be insane. Alright, well, I don't know, good recovery, I guess. You can see a little ground squirrel right there. I guess this is why all the grizzly bears hang out here. There's a lot more. Oh, can you see him? He's just running. Running along there. Just went his little home. There he goes. Oh, it's like a little mink or something. I don't know what that is. I don't think that's a squirrel. Anyway, getting back to it, you can see all the, I don't want to call them trees, but they're shrubs and stuff. And that's what those man-eaters like the most. Oh, gee, I thought that was one right there. It's just a black rock. Let's go over to this side, I guess. might be coming up to Second Creek, which would put us about halfway on the topo map. If we can finish this topo map today, I'm happy. The time is 2:30. Then we're not doing too bad in terms of distance. I probably mentioned it before. The Packraft does not love flat water, or it's not flat water, like completely still water, and it hates it even more so when there's a headwind. So there's been a headwind since like, I don't know, Tuesday or something. But right now we're making some pretty decent time, and the river's kind of nice. Like, I think it's better than just like walking up these hills, because to get from the end of the river where the Arctic Ocean is to Polituk, we have a 20-kilometer hike anyway. So we're still going to get our hiking. Let's see what we get to today. Wave trains keep it moving. It's a long one too. Oh shit. Can you see them? Way up there? You're never going to be able to see it, but maybe I can zoom in. It's right there, just standing there. What those are, I can't tell. Caribou or moose, I guess. But it's just the two of them. And they seem very friendly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're caribou. Right on top. They're just going over the edge right now. You know what? Here's a good question for you guys. I only film with GoPros. That's it. I have two GoPros. I have a GoPro 8 that I'm using right now on the front of my Packraft, and a GoPro 10. So what can I do? Is there a zoom lens for a GoPro? Or something like that that's a little bit like lighter than having a giant camera? Because if there is, I'll bring it. But it's got to be, you know, very light and preferably multi-use. Grizzly. It's a grizzly bear. You see it? It's running up the hill right now. Actually, it's running this fucking way. Okay, hold on. So we're gonna get the fuck out of here. The grizzly bear is right there. It doesn't seem too interested in me, but still, it's closer than I would like. It's actually right there. And he's fast, man. Let's get the hell out of here. So, Mr. Grizzly is making his way up the mountain, but he is fast. Like, we're really far away, but I feel like he could come here in a very, very short distance, a very short period of time. So we're just gonna keep an eye on him out of the corner of our eye. But we're past him now. He got a little bit close. I was about to pull out the spray. I know it seems like, oh, he's so far away, but man, they cover ground fast. Like, I don't remember, I saw him way over here, and he came to me. He came to me and was like, "Yo, what's up?" I ain't got no time for that. I'm out of here. Incredibly long. It's a giant caribou right there. It scared the hell out of me. I thought it was a bear. Hey! What are you looking at? You looking at me? We are right there. This is our takeout point just before the river braids into the Arctic Ocean there. There is an old road that goes to Pawtuck, about 20 kilometers long. I was thinking of getting out like along one of these and beelining across, but let's see how the river goes. Like right now it's gorgeous and the wildlife is, oh look, he's crossing the rapids. He's crossing the rapids over there. The caribou. Oh, it's deep for him. Look, it's up to his head. I know you can't see because it's the GoPro, but just his head is peeping out. Anyway, yeah, so we're gonna head here and see what other type of wildlife we can see. This is great. See, even these little riffles are probably better than walking. So I don't think we're gonna walk today. We'll see what the map looks like. We're just about to hop onto the next topographical map. I think it might even be the last one, to be honest. We're gonna make a really good time. But the river can be slow, but then it's got like, it still has a ton of little class 1s, class 2s that are worth staying on it for. And we're moving, so we might not get up the river till we get to Rat Lake Road, which is basically where this river meets the Arctic Ocean. It's so shallow. Oh, I knew I should have gone that way. Think I can do it? I don't think so, guys. Oh. Yeah, that's what happens when you try and run that stuff. I can't believe this thing doesn't pop. Or a moose. Or deer or something. Look, what are these things? These are moose. Hey, what are you? Those are moose. Let me know if I'm crazy or not. Those are not caribou. Those look like moose to me. But they're not close. I would say that they are 100 yards away, maybe more. So it's really tough to make out exactly what they are, but they look like two female moose, maybe like a mom and a adolescent. Anyway, let me know if I'm gone crazy or if that's actually what those are. River's getting shallow. So, potential camp spot here, but I didn't realize there's a river on the other side. This is more like a mound. So we will, actually this isn't bad right here either. I'm gonna take a look. Right there is not bad. Why don't we see if this peninsula here as a spot for a tent. It's coming up to 6:15. If not, we could try over there too. Just getting kind of tired of camping on rocks. Wouldn't mind some lawn. Thinking over there. Well, this is definitely the caribou gathering spot. Look at all the footprints that it has. It's actually insane. It's like the herd must have came through here. It's chilly tonight. We're in big grizzly country. So that's why we're cooking a little bit far away from our tent. Well, not a little bit, like a football field away. I feel like we had a big wildlife day. We saw 4 moose, or at least we think they were moose. We saw a caribou and it swam across the river, and we saw our first grizzly. So we might see another one over the next couple days because they get a little bit more plentiful the closer we get to the coast, actually. Just because it's a little bit easier to get food. And the pack raft is working awesome, as usual. Yeah, the pack raft is a pretty unique craft. Like it's a tool for the toolbox. It's definitely not a do-it-all. There's some really good things about it and there's some really bad things about it. And one of the bad things is flat water paddling is terrible. And the second worst thing about a pack raft is that it doesn't punch through holes well. So it's very, it's susceptible to being stuck in holes. I like the challenge of putting together a route that requires hiking and pack rafting to access a remote river. I just like that. And up until I got a pack raft, all my solo trips were hiking actually. I was predominantly a hiker for 20 years, from high school all the way until, and I still am, I still hike, but I really like the pack raft. I have spilt my boiled water twice this trip because I didn't bring my pot lifter. But I use Esbit tabs to boil my water, and I bring 1 Esbit tab for every single day. So I brought 9 of them, thinking that I would either cold soak or do something else for another day. I've wasted 2 of them now. So if we're out here for 2 more nights, I have no more fuel. Fuel is actually done. Sent out some messages to family, no one responded. It's Friday night there, so they're probably out partying. We have a visitor. I can't tell. It looks, again, like a moose. Is it a fucking bear? I can't tell. Oh, there's another one. Oh, it's like a moose. Another moose. I got my phone that has 20 times zoom. Yeah, and they're moose. They just went down into the bushes, but I'm going to hang out here and just observe. I don't want to get too close either. Other than that, I got nothing else. I'm going to eat some food and hit the hay. Up early. Up and at 'em. Good morning, everybody. I think today is day number 10. We're actually up early. It's just after 7. Not bad, considering we're usually up and out a little bit later. I was looking at the map. There is a direct line from here and our takeout point at Rat Lake, which is probably half the distance of paddling the river, because the river is winding way out. But man, yesterday the wildlife that we saw, I think that's the result of being on the river. You know, when you're on the river, you're a lot quieter. Smells are like hidden a little bit more, and animals tend to kind of gather on the river's edge. If we hike from here, we're definitely crossing the Arctic tundra, and it's flat and open. Well, you've seen it, I think, on day 3 or 4 when we were hiking, and we will be hiking it anyway at the end of, or probably tomorrow. I say we float. I say we float the last 15K. See if we can't get a few more wildlife shots under our belt. We still haven't seen a muskox, and we still haven't seen a wolf. I don't know how likely they are. Want to see some funny undies? Bananas and cherries. That's what we're in today. These guys keep sneaking up on me. Look at the set on that guy. He's checking me out. I'm friendly, bud. You ain't got anything to worry about. Just me taking some video, bud. I was just having a panic attack that a piece of my paddle was missing. I walked over there to see if I left it there. I'm walking back and I can see it's jammed up in here. Oh my God, I thought someone took part of it in the night or something. All right, we're about ready to go. And we are officially off for the day. I'm not sure where we'll get to. What I am sure is that I now have my phone up here with me. I usually keep my phone only for, I put my route and my GPS into, I think it's called Earth something. It's with Garmin anyway. And I check it just in case, you know, I go off route or something. But this trip, we really haven't had much off-trail travel. Following the river is pretty simple, so I haven't been using it. Yesterday, if I had it, it has 20 times zoom on it, the phone. That's what I took a couple pictures with, so that's what some of the caribou video that I have. If I had it for the bear, we would have had a really good shot of it because it was pretty close. The GoPro actually has such a wide angle that even when something's quite close, it makes it look like it's far away. So today we are on animal safari in Tuktut Nogait, and we're gonna find you some stuff, guys. That's what we're gonna do. Gotta look. They're very sneaky, these little Tuktut Nogaits. And we're still gonna run a few rapids here and there. We're gonna try this one, and if we end up bottoming out on like 100 rocks, I'm gonna start scouting them. The water level is so low this far down in the river. This doesn't look that bad, actually. Yeah, a little bit of a bump and grind. See, like, it's just so low. They need about another 6 inches. Gonna be shallow here. That's the type of thing that ends a trip right there. Stay away from those. Eye over here. And it is red. Let's take a closer look and see what this thing is. What is that thing? I'm gonna go take a look at it, but I can't tell. Hey, bear! Coming through! This is someone's ATV that is very, very sick. Like, it's obviously been here a while, but I wonder if it got like swept away and across the river or something. That's brutal. Okay, well, if you lost an ATV and it was red, 4x4, here it is. And it's located at the giant radius, about, I don't know, 5 to 10 kilometers south of the Rat Lake, end of Rat Lake Road, where Rat Lake is. Interesting find. Looks like a caribou right there. Big, huge one. I'm gonna paddle away now. He's coming straight for me. I don't know what he wants. We're friends, bud. We're friends. Just saw another caribou. I think I've lost count, but we probably saw 10 of them on this trip or something. You know, there's a herd. I think it's called the Blue Nose Caribou Herd or something like that. And there's thousands of them here. And they travel in a huge pack, and the grizzlies and the wolves follow them, actually. Eat their young, to be honest. And them, I guess. Experience seeing them is quite amazing because they don't fear you at all. They're like curious about you. Maybe they've never seen a human, I have no idea. They don't associate us with like hunting or something. Yeah, but you can have some really, really cool like interaction with them. Even this morning when I was shaking out my tent, it was like, hey bud, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm in my tent. He's like, do you want to fight? And I'm like, no, I don't want to fight at all. And he's like, shake that tent again and I'm coming for you. So I just shook a little bit. He was like, and then I stopped. This caribou really doesn't care either. He's just munching away. See, the thing is, they're, I wouldn't say they're aggressive, but like, everyone I've seen kind of comes closer to me. And I don't know these animals at all, but if they're anything like a moose, you know, that's not a good sign. You basically want to stay clear. They're probably 1,000 pounds. I don't know how much they weigh, but they're huge. Like, they're horses. Well, this is the final big horseshoe turn before it straightens out and heads out to the Arctic Ocean. As the river braids, so what happens when it goes out, it's a river proper, and then as it gets close to the Arctic or the ocean, you know, as the tides come in and out, it ends up braiding out into a bunch of lines. It becomes really tough to actually paddle them because they're just so shallow. So I'm gonna paddle and stick to the left, or river left, because that's the closest side to Pawlatuck. And then as soon as we see that it's like really getting shallow, we'll just pack up and we'll start hiking. I don't think we can make it all the way back to Pawlatuck, But let's see what happens up here. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a bunch of people having a party. I think I woke up too early. It's 12:15. Yeah, because this is like where the locals would go fishing on the Hornaday, for example. They wouldn't come all the way, at least I don't think, they wouldn't come all the way out here. You saw it happen as you come out here. Look at that ATV. You can see the cliffs of insanity pretty much end just around this bend. And out there is the Arctic Ocean. So the only thing we need to be careful of is polar bears. Actually, I'm mostly kidding. There's not really well, there is. You can't discount the idea. There's totally polar bears, but they're generally out on the sea ice, so you don't have to worry about them too much. I know you guys can't see it because of the GoPro angle, but I see something red on the left-hand river up there. River left. Maybe another destroyed ATV. This place is so gorgeous, man. So I'm gonna stick to the left and see what it looks like up here. I imagine that the coast is going to be like distinctively different. I don't know if you've noticed, even from the canyons, from the first canyon to the second canyon to the third canyon to just like the open plains where all the wildlife was, and now we're going to be on the Arctic coast. So it's like just different worlds. It's fantastic, actually. I don't know if I'll be able to do a trip that will beat this one without dying. Like, I'd have to go to space. So that red thing over there was like, I think it was like a gas can or something. Like it's small. It's small. So the braiding of the ocean is not shown like this, but we need to go over there. So I'm just gonna go around this little ledge here and see if there's a better spot. There's also something on the left-hand side here now as well. Oh, he's got a generator going to power this thing. Okay, so let's pull out and see where this guy is. Fisheries and Oceans Canada. DFO. Department of Fisheries and Oceans. Alright, let's see. Someone's camping up here or something. Like a bunch, there's like a village over there, like a bunch of tents or something. But I don't see how I'd get there other than walking. Okay, so let's see what we're gonna do here. I'm actually thinking if we follow this ATV trail, I bet it goes up there and all along there. We'll check with these guys if this is Rat Lake Road. Hey, bear! Looks like I got a welcome party waiting for me. 3 or 4 guys. What's up, man?
Hello.
I'm Steve.
Nice to meet you. My name's Hayden Green.
What are you doing out here?
We're doing Dixon work. We're doing the FJMC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I kind of rushed out to you to make sure that you walk around.
Oh shit, yeah, the only thing I brought was my bear spray. I left everything else there. Let's put this, let me put my bear spray here. Dude, are you serious? Yeah, okay.
Slide down. Gotta be in 4-wheel drive too.
Jesus.
Roller coaster.
This is the fastest way out of the backcountry, man. Alright, Hayden's giving me a ride up to camp, and then we'll go from there. Hey, John. John, you're wolfing the dog. John. Yeah, your wolf and the dog are going to go at it. Yeah. They're about 10 feet apart. Oh, wolf's leaving right now. He's just running over the... Okay. So it's actually around 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was sleeping, and I heard like a little bit of a growl outside the tent, and I was like, what's that noise? I'm like, oh, you know what, it's probably nothing. So I totally forgot about it. A couple minutes later, I heard it again. I'm like, you know what, I better take a look. So I open up the fly in my tent, I look over, and Max, who's the bear dog for this camp, is like 10 feet away from a wolf, and they're just like staring at each other. Max is growling. I'm like, no way. So I grabbed the bear spray. I grabbed my phone, actually. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll take some video. So I started taking video. And then as soon as I look over, I'm like, they're going to go at it. So John is here. He's local. And he's got a shotgun. So I just screamed his name. I'm like, John, the dog and the wolf are going to go at it. I didn't get it on camera, but John pops out of his tent, got his shotgun, chased the wolf off, fired a shot in the air. So now we're going to try and fall back asleep. Hey, also, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Look how light it is.
This is it, the Arctic Ocean. Pawlatuck's 5-10 minute walk away. It's hard to imagine that a trip this ambitious really did go off without a hitch. No problems, really. I remember the first couple of days that I was in the park, I was at the culture camp with the elders and the youth. And at one point, I think it was the first day, we all sat in a circle, and the park manager, Stephanie, asked us all to select a word that would describe how we were feeling. And there was, I think, 13 of us. I was one of the last ones to go, and everybody had their word and explained it. And when it came to me, I said lucky. I picked lucky. Because at the time I was thinking like, wow, I can't believe I actually made it to the park. You know, 8 weeks ago, I broke my back in a car accident. So I thought the trip was over, but I was able to heal and rehabilitate myself. Then about 3 hours before my first leg of the journey from Toronto to get up here, they canceled my flight. And so I figured, okay, well, I'm not going to make it in time to catch the float plane. But I went to the airport and they put me on another flight that had like 7 connections. And I figured, okay, well, if I can make all the connections, there's no way my bag is going to actually make all the connections. And then when I got off the plane in Nunavik, lo and behold, on the conveyor, my bag was there. And I thought, wow, that's like, I'm so lucky. Then, you know, to get a complimentary float plane flight into the park and be asked to join the culture camp with the local community, essentially just to spend time with, like, absorb the culture. That's really what it was, just learning about the different ways and traditions and hearing stories and having good times. And so I was very much like, I feel very lucky. Like, I mean, I'm a lucky guy. And then when you really look at the trip starting from there forward, first and foremost, you know, the weather really cooperated with us. We were out there 11 days. We had like a little bit of rain and some wind, but for being, you know, 200 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle, I'd say that we had a pretty good stint of weather. We were able to safely pack raft, you know, sheer wall canyons through beautiful whitewater rivers, a river that was last paddled in 1999 and before that never successfully paddled. We scouted everything. We had some of the most beautiful campsites I've ever seen. After the canyons were done, we were lucky enough to see some incredible wildlife. I saw more caribou than I can count. We had great experiences with the caribou, some up close, some very personal. We saw a baby caribou swim in the rapids. Then we saw a few moose here and there. We did see a grizzly right in the grizzly corridor. It was a safe experience. We got some video, a great experience for me. And then just last night, we saw a wolf. And, you know, to see those animals, they're very elusive. I thought, well, that's fantastic. Then on the last day at the end of Rat Lake, we bumped into Mike. And Mike was the one that I actually had dinner with. I met him the night before I left on my trip. He works for the DFO. He was there with his team and some members from the HTC, the Hunter and Trapper Committee. And, you know, they fed me well, had a great little safe spot to camp. And like, wow, what a coincidence. And then to finally make it to the Arctic Ocean, essentially unscathed with nothing but a bruised middle finger from dropping a friggin' rock. You know, to have all of these incredible things happen in such a short period of time, I'm not sure that luck is the way to describe it. If I had to guess what it was, I think it was the invisible string. I do. If you know, you know. There's only one last thing to do to complete the trip. And I think you know exactly what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the frigid waters of the Arctic Ocean. Woo! Woo! Woo!